Hey there family, so today I'm going to be talking about excessive self-criticism, its harmful effects on our mental health, and 4 ways to overcome it. So let's go. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Peter Gordon and I'm a doctoral student working towards what will be a doctorate in clinical psychology. I also happen to be a mental health therapist and a life and health coach. And I make videos on mental health, philosophy, fitness, wellness, and everything I hope can help you to lead your most profound life. And while you're here, please don't forget to click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you're notified each time I post a brand new video. Also feel free to share this video, like it, and comment on it. Now let's get into the heart of today's topic. So in today's topic, I'm going to be talking about excessive self-criticism, the signs of it, how it can affect your mental health and overall well-being, and 4 ways to overcome this issue on your own. But before I go any further, let me put this little disclaimer out there. The opinions shared in this video are mine. They are based on my lived experiences, observing friends and family, and working with clients in therapy. So be sure to take what I say with a grain of salt and come to your own conclusions, because ultimately you are the expert in your life. Furthermore, this video should not be used in place of seeking professional therapy if there is a need. Now, if you ask any mental health therapist, psychologist, or psychiatrist, I can almost guarantee you that they will tell you that outside of any significant mental health disorder, the thing that causes the most mental health problems for any client is negative self-talk or negative inner dialogue. Now, it's important to point out that constructive self-criticism in the correct dosage is never a bad thing. It can motivate, keep one focused, and spur change. But excessive negative self-talk, now that is a whole other ball game. That being said, what is negative self-talk? What does it look like and how is it manifested? Well, for starters, negative self-talk is any type of inner dialogue that is limiting your ability to believe in yourself and your own abilities to reach your potential. In effect, it can be defined as any thought that reduces your ability to make positive changes in your life or confidence in your ability. And for many, this type of negative inner dialogue is chronic. That is, it never turns off. As I pointed out, can undermine self-confidence, lower motivation, and lead to embarrassment, guilt, shame, anger, or sadness. And at its worst, it can trigger major mental health problems such as major depressive disorder or general anxiety disorder. Now, a few signs of excessive self-criticism are perfectionism, being terrified of failure, craving for control, low self-esteem, being easily frustrated with yourself, and excessive thought rumination. That is, you're constantly thinking about the past and always asking yourself what if or woulda, shoulda questions. With all that being said, how can one reduce excessive self-criticism on their own? Well, if you do any kind of Google search, you'll find helpful suggestions. But in my personal life and the work I do with clients in therapy that struggle with excessive self-criticism, I suggest 4 things one can do to combat and manage this issue. So let's get into these 4 tips. If you truly pay attention to most negative thoughts, you'll discover that they aren't true. And so it's essential to focus on the facts before you start to believe your thoughts. Seneca, the Roman philosopher, once said, "We suffer more in imagination than we do in reality." Now, I'd like to think that Seneca was not saying that whatever struggles we are facing isn't real. Instead, what I believe Seneca was saying way back then was that if we can reduce excessive internal criticism by focusing on the facts, it can allow us to reframe or apply another perspective. And by doing this, many of the mountains in front of us won't seem so ominous. So again, focus on the facts. When your negative self-inner dialogue begins to erupt, ask yourself, what advice would you give a friend going through the same issue? By earnestly doing this, what you'll find is that it can allow you to step outside the problem or problems and be able to apply proper logic and perspective. Because in many situations, our emotions have overridden the ability to apply the right perspective to a given situation. So again, ask yourself, what advice would you give a friend? Rumination is basically replaying the same thoughts or thoughts over and over again, which is a trait common in people that struggle with excessive self-criticism. And this is dangerous because it can eventually drag you down because you can never provide yourself with a satisfactory answer or rationale for any thought. Therefore, you have to find a way to get out of your own head by stopping those thoughts or changing the station. Perhaps it's going for a walk, reconnecting with nature, maybe meeting up with friends, exercising or practicing mindfulness. Whatever you do, just work on changing the station. There's a fine line between saying you're not good enough and reminding ourselves that there's room for improvement. Reminding ourselves to exist in that gray area is a safe space and one that can reduce excessive self-criticism. In effect, it provides us with the awareness to be kind to ourselves, that failure is part of learning about ourselves and how we can grow. It reminds us that we are imperfectly perfect works in progress. So I hope this all makes sense, and if this video resonates with you on a personal level, be sure to try these 4 tips. But bear in mind that change takes time, so be kind to yourselves. And if there's a need, be sure to seek the help of a licensed professional clinician. Stay well, family. But before you go, don't forget to click that subscribe button, which is my face right there. Also, if you want to check out some of my other videos, click any of these 2 boxes. Stay well, family.